right, we're going to try this one more time. This is Ocelot of War, and today we're going to be streaming some Ostranauts. This is a game in early access. I've started in the character creation, and basically, this is where you control what it looks like. It's set up to look like, Tinder. I don't know why that was so hard to come up with. And you can alter the way you look uh, right here. But I basically messed around with this before I got started so that I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time with you staring at me fiddling with the screen and not saying much. Uh, we're ready to move on to character creation proper. Main thing I like here is I've got a little cutlass scar, so maybe a piratey vibe. We'll see how that works out. Uh, we're going to get started with the actual character creation. And much like one of the classic tabletop role playing games, Traveler, you can notoriously die during character creation. So, uh, this game, in some ways, is about not dying and expect that you will die sooner or later. So, save a lot. Um, in the interest of not butchering words too badly, in some cases, I'm going to say things like my employer rather than mispronouncing the Yoruba name since I don't actually speak Yoruba. Uh, so the employer medtech takes a glance at your chart, then at your body, then back at your chart. Immunosuppressed, low bone density, hypovolemic standard condition for a young spacer on K-leg station. Born and raised as you were in the weak microgravity of a 33-kilometer asteroid. Doc says the insomnia is catching up with you. It's chronic around here. Something likely caused by radiation and lack of sunlight. Your eyes work well enough for now, but they're still bad and they're getting worse. 18 years old and rapidly approaching middle age. Your muscles are feeble by Mars standards. You wouldn't stand a chance on Earth. No shit, you say. You're no Earther, and you never will be. A heart monitor beeps, then beeps again. The board tech scribbles a few notes and grants you work permissions, healthy enough to strip hulls in the boneyard despite everything. So, we're 18 years old. We're on K-Leg. Ganymede is not the satellite of Jupiter. It is the asteroid with an irregular orbit between Mars and Earth. It has an approach, a relatively close approach to both, uh, but is in between. Uh, we got less than $100 to our name. We've got no real skills. We've just been granted permission to be a shipbreaker. And because of that, we are now skilled in spaceship engineering, skilled in zero-G ops. We have a father who is a pirate from Mars, and a mother, a shipbreaker from Mars. So sounds like that scars something that might play into our backstory. Might have had an interesting childhood. Now, right now we're 18. Every time we click one of these buttons, we're adding it. It's basically a year of our life. What we want to do is get out of character creation before we're too old and feeble to do what we want to do. Um, we but there's some skills we want to gain that are very important because they can't be gained in game, and potentially want to try to remove some problems. Uh, these things are going to uh, uh, be impossible. The ones we want to move or try to remove are the ones that are impossible to just remove in game. This one's only going to cost us a year of life. never actually done this. I'm interested in seeing in game what it does for us. There is fog of war in the game, and oftentimes people can apparently see me when I cannot see them, which I find irritating. I'm wondering if that's going to change if I remove the poor vision. So we've still got poor hearing. I'm sorry, sharp hearing and slow metabolism. So uh, we're no longer visually impaired. And that basically took a year off our life. There's some other interesting things in here, but we're going to see if we can gain those through the life experience and rather than through here. Uh, Actually, there's one more thing we want to go ahead and pull off is the micro G hypervolemic. Uh, and again, a year each, so 2 years of a life gone. Boom. Okay. Everything else we're going to do is seek adventure and then seek a ship. Saving the money saves very little money typically, and there's better ways to get money once you're out of character creation. And review our resume just before we hit seek ship, because when we seek ship, we're basically done. So seek adventure. You're approached by a coworker who has developed a less than legal method for making cash on the side. Apparently, they have been tagging high value salvage as junk in the system for the last 6 weeks. After the false tag, they leave the part on board the derelict and sell the location to the highest bidder. This scheme always involves the complicity of the breaker doing the final sweep, and today that happens to be you. The piece in question is a busted reactor, and you know it will fetch a pretty penny on the black market. It's a big take if you can pull it off, but there are risks. So we can gather intel for the cops, we can backstab them, we can report it to the employer, or we can start a fight. In this case, I suspect they're going to backstab me. I don't really want to be a stooge to the employer. I'm afraid I would get my ass kicked in a fight right now because I don't know what I'm doing. And so, although I'm leaning toward a less than legal bent to my character, uh, having somebody in law enforcement on our side, maybe not a bad idea. You decline the offer, but keep an eye on the involved parties. It's a good scheme, runs like clockwork. After a couple weeks, you know all the names, locations, and timings. You bring this intel to an AOSEC officer. They are shocked by the level of detail. It's not a career case, but it's close enough. Now you have a friend on the force, plus some valuable information to boot. New friend, Mercy Benjamin, law enforcement officer from the flotilla. Uh, so we gained honest, we gained skilled in street etiquette, and we gained a contact. So next year, we're going to seek adventure again. This is a good one. We're going to midway through the scrapping yet another hulk. The cockpit of your allotted salvage pod lights up with red telltales. Suddenly, you're under thrust as one of the engines sends you spiraling away from the hulk's orbit into the black. It's unresponsive, and no one has the fuel to come save you. You're expendable. If you want to live, it's up to you. We can hack, we can troubleshoot. I think we're going to troubleshoot. Hacking is a good skill, but there's other ways to get it. Oh, this. It's a known issue on the Testudo Alpha series. You've got you've just got to reroute power through the axle breakers to trigger an interrupt request from the thrust control module. Tech, 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 blah, blah, blah. At the same time as you hit the manufacturer's security keys, and yep, simple. Lucky this happened to you. Someone else might have been in serious trouble. The manager is impressed. You escaped without damaging the rig. In a rare display of generosity, they offer you a bonus on your weekly pay. So our less than $100 is actually going to go up here, and another year of my life. Despite your best efforts, your dream of owning your own salvage ship still eludes you. You find yourself wondering if a change in strategy is in order. How will you spend the upcoming years? We're going to seek adventure one more time. She's a real beauty, the Testudo Heavy Lifter 448, and It's with a confusing mix of honor and dismay that you're contracted to take her apart. On day 4 of the break, you're welding through a wall compartment when something catches your eye. You snap off the torch and take a closer look. Your breath catches at the sight. A Mura intake regulator, the apex of the defunct company's technical achievements, today one of the rarest aftermarket parts in the game, and literally in the game. It's popular on other markets too. Maybe your employer doesn't need to know about this. Notify your employer, bribe your boss and split the profits, smash it and feel alive. I'm going to try to smuggle it through the black market. We'll see how that goes. It's all too simple. Strip the part out, hide an RFID tag amidst the wreckage, chunk it on the garbage sled. When the sled reaches overflow processing, the junkyard of junkyards, as the locals would have it, someone sufficiently bribed will find the part, remove it, edit the log, and reroute it back to the hands of one of K-Leg's mini fences. You get a finder's fee and a fortnight of prudent paranoia, which soon subsides, such is life. New contact, Alan Gilbert, criminal for from the station. New enemy, Kelsey Buck, LEO, also right in line with our character here. But fortunately, we've still got this other guy on our side, so we'll see how this goes. Or gal, as the case may be. How are we going to spend the next year? There's one more thing I'm hoping for. You're drinking at the local watering hole, and this happens to be it. After your shift, when you see the unicorn, they're the scion of an executive sneaking out to rub shoulders and bump uglies with the common folk. You wince as they try to pay for their round and yawn. It's dollars for the likes of us, friend. If you're careful and lucky, this could be an opportunity. We could start a riot, always fun. Pick their pocket, just mug them, get them drunk. Basically, I'm always the bard, so of course we're going to seduce them. You catch their eye across the crowded bar. A held gaze, a quirk of the brow, that's all it takes. You're that good. It's a crying shame you scrap spaceships for a living. Sure, it's a quintessential hustle. And to their credit, they're savvy enough to realize it. But it's not like it's slave labor. It's a system thing. 6 months, then a year, time flies by in comparative luxury. At the end, they're forced to break it off for an arranged marriage to another family. But you'll always have Paris, the only cafe on the asteroid. New ex-lover, Pedro. All right. Now the beauty of this is we got skilled in cooking, skilled in dance, charismatic and beautiful. This is going to make interacting with other characters so much easier. Despite your best efforts, your dream of owning your own salvage ship still eludes you. You find yourself wondering if a change in strategy is in order. How will you seek the upcoming years? Let's look at what work on self, because there's one more thing I'd like to have, and that's hacking. It would be 2 years doing it this way. We're 24. I'm going to go ahead and try to pick it up through adventure. And this is the way to do that, or one of the ways to do that. Zoo, zoo, zooey, a woman calls. You stop what you're doing, mouth dry. So do the dozen or other day workers in the cramped dormitory, a silver class econo apartment in ASC barracks. That's the single from the next pod over. They're coming. Outside the door and up the access corridor, you hear the clatter of mag boots marching in double time. Half a dozen of your neighbors flee through the back door. Moments later, you hear the series of sharp cracks and screams. Shocker rounds, you hope. You've got a moment to act. What do you do? Jackboots sound the same in any century, don't they? So we're going to hide in the air vent. We're going to bluff. You have nothing to hide. Fake a pressure alarm. I like it. I like it. On some stations, hackers are monitoring the same villages as states seeking nuclear capabilities back on old Earth. Do they have the technology needed to perform a cyber attack? Do they have the motivation, the skills, the opportunity, the support network? This is a good example of why such precautions exist. It's the work of 10 seconds, 10 tenths seconds to isolate the corridor the ISX are advancing down. It's three keystrokes to trigger vacuum alarm. You hear the thuds as the bulkheads close, trapping them inside. By the time the sysops can untangle the mess that you leave behind, the rig will be neutered by social embarrassment, if nothing else. Some of your dorm mates take advantage of the confusion to slip away, hopefully to less policed areas of the station, if such a thing exists in barracks. So we got skilled in hacking and a genius, both very useful skills. And with that, we're going to review our resume real quick. We're still youthful, a young adult at 25, charismatic, beautiful, honest, genius, feeble. I hope we can fix that going forward with a little exercise. Fragile, oh, the same there too. Immunosuppressed, may take that off. Unfit, slow metabolism, insomniac. Skilled in cooking, skilled in dance, skilled in spaceship engineering, skilled in spaceship piloting, skilled in hacking, skilled in street etiquette, and skilled in zero G ops. All these are awesome. And we can actually go right back through the entire thing before we say okay. Before we say okay. Self. Is immunosuppressed something we can remove? Yes, it is. And it's going to only take 1 year. So we're going to go ahead and do it. And then we'll be done. So 26. Seek ship. Box sled salvage tug. Due to external hull features on this craft, Ogaso's register has given this vessel an OSR of low, indicating that it's legal for sale but poses some risk of death to crew. Side effects include death, dismemberment, or severe vomiting until death and dismemberment. Big advantage of this is it's super cheap. Big disadvantage of this is there's zero room whatsoever. We got a little outdoor platform. However, we're well equipped to expand this because we're shipbreaker, and the mortgage is going to be half what a better ship would get. You won't actually get this option as a possibility if it's your first time in the game. The most basic option will be roughly 2.5 times this price. It is also a salvage tug. It's quite small, but a little less small than this. But basically, this is a death trap. And we're going to jump right in with both feet. So we're going to take this chip. Well, it ain't much, but at least now you can reach some of the outer derelicts beyond the watchful eye of the yardmasters. Now that you're on your own terms, the next move is up to you. Maybe score a valuable part or two for resale or reuse, put down a platinum tier payout on a gig, or maybe even discover a ship discarded before its time. Whatever the case, it'd be sweating in a suit all day for someone else's profit. Time to get out there and find your future and sweat in a suit for your own profit. Okay, review the resume one more time. We're no longer immunosuppressed, which I like. And we're ready to roll. All right, we're going to put a cut in here. And in the next episode, we're going to get started and learn a little bit about the station. Now, the in-game tutorial is going to push you toward the ship. And it's fine to go in it. But whatever you do, don't disconnect from the station because that basically starts the docking fees and the mortgage rolling. Until we actually do that the first time, we've got a little grace period, and we want to use that to explore the station as much as possible, uncover anything that's useful, including just simply areas that we could stash things if we needed to, useful tools so that we don't have to buy them, just random crap that we could sell to buy something that's useful. So we'll see how that goes. Check back in shortly.